Another goal inside the last 30 minutes for the Seattle Sounders. It's now 19-4. They've outscored opponents when it comes to crunch time. Dempsey on the ball. He was quite vocal saying they had rhythm, and he blamed that friendly against his former team Spurs for disrupting that rhythm they had. Now Martins.
I don't think the World Cup break hurt, didn't help them either.
No.
Martins and Dempsey were playing very well together, had a good understanding between the two, and then Dempsey leaves for that amount of time. DeAndre Yedlin, that hurt the rhythm a little bit.
Garcia. Shimmying both ways. Davis trying to measure his cross.
I watch Houston, Adrian, and they're four in the midfield. They're working very well together, getting the ball in dangerous spots, but then the ball gets to Brad Davis and Boniek Garcia in wide positions. Who's inside the 18? Jason Johnson, Giles Barnes are hanging around top of the 18. They have to give some kind of option, if not one, two runners inside that 18.
Well, that's an ominous statistic for Dynamo fans, isn't it? One win, 10 defeats for Houston when they concede first this season. Seattle won their first game back after the World Cup break, that 2-0 victory here against Portland, but then had to sit out a couple of weeks. They had the friendly here against Spurs. Martins is on the end of that ball. Hall out to meet him. But Martins can't generate any pace. He was leaning away from goal, off balance. Could he have possibly taken another touch here, Taylor, to settle himself?
The center backs for the Houston Dynamo haven't helped him all season long. That's a ball over the top that David Horst just lets the ball skim right off the top of his head. The deflection, yes, it's tough to ultimately criticize David Horst, but he's flat-footed defensively, Adrian. You look at the history of the Houston Dynamo under Dominic Kinnear, what has been a staple? Good, strong center backs.
Yep. He's always been of the ilk that strikers win you games, Taylor, but defenders win you championships.
And who would have thought that the loss of Bobby Boswell would have been that big?
Yeah. Boswell has been terrific, hasn't he, for DC United? Big part of around for Ben Olsen's club as this free kick is swung in. Martins was turned around. Oh, the referee has pointed to the spot. I think Obafemi Martins was turned around because he was being grabbed. Chris Penso giving Seattle the chance to double their lead.
And we've seen this called this year, haven't we, Adrian? A little bit more than usual. We used to always get away with a little tug here or there. But as you see, Obafemi Martins, Ricardo Clark has his arm in both hands.
Yeah, and clearly Martins couldn't release himself from the grip of Ricardo Clark. I'm not sure if Dominic Kinnear had a clear view of that. What is clear that Seattle have been pretty good from the penalty spots this season. Pineda is 2 for 2. And it will be the Mexican who takes charge here. We've seen one penalty already saved at this end. Can Tally Hall come up with the same formula? Pineda up against Hall, and Hall got a piece.
And the Sounders with the second point for a penalty kick. And I don't even know how to say the name, but yes, he scores. Pineda scores.
Just a goalkeeper's nightmare on a penalty.
Goal for second. That's the second point, I mean. Really, there's no word how to describe that goal point, but epic though. Passed right for the gloves of that goalkeeper. Second save, I think, of a penalty kick. If they scored before, I don't even know when they tried to score in the first penalty kick against this team. If they did score, would it have been 3-0? Really.
Tally Hall could do nothing about it. And all of a sudden,
this was the best point ever, though. Kind of got confused a little bit with a couple of words. For some reason.
It is not
when the penalty kick was up. But that was so epic though. No word describe that, but epic little